Well, hello there everyone and welcome back to Zombo Land Gaming. I am Zombo Skater, and guess what? We're having cake, we're gonna have a good time, and we're gonna play some StoneBlock 3. This is episode number 4, and oh boy, have I been busy. I've learned a whole bunch. I've trialed and errored a whole bunch. I've died a whole bunch. I've done just a lot. A lot has happened since we last saw each other, and let me tell you what, I'm going to walk you through it all, and then we're going to go have some adventures, I think, and try and work towards some actual machinery today. So without a further ado, let's get on into the episode. All right, first things first. Okay, so I really need to expand this, and I'm thinking today we're gonna make a room. I don't know where I want to make this. Maybe, I mean, I kind of want it over here. I think I'm gonna expand out that direction, and we'll make an actual room like we did in all the mods 9, and I think I did it in 8 as well, where we're just gonna have everything that you can put in a botany pot. We are gonna put in a botany pot, and we'll have a special room for it. And so that's really all I've done over there, to be perfectly honest. And look at this. Oh, that poor bunny rabbit. We have some mob grinding utilities. Oh, what? Let me go ahead and turn this light on here so I can show you some stuff and things. So I've set up some storage over here. It's not auto going into the storage yet. I need to actually put a cell controller, a storage controller there, and link it to here. But look at this. We're getting all the mob heads. We're getting all the arrows and all the stuff and things. And then a whole bunch of these stupid things. The an instrumental mob stuff and things, which are humorous at first, like this. Oh my god. What the hell? So yes, we're getting a whole bunch of those, which I'm just trashing by hand. I'm doing everything manually at the time being. But let me kind of walk you through what I've done here. Let's break into this wall. Why not? And so that way I can take you to the behind the scenes. So all I have here is we use the dreadful fertilizer. Let's just go here. At mob underscore grinding. So we had to make the chicken feed for cursed, which was just 4 experience buckets. And I think I said this in the last episode, but you can just use a bucket on the experience obelisk, and that gets you your buckets. And then the rest of the stuff is stuff we had. So I went ahead and made that, then I fed it to a chicken, so we got this dreadful dirt that's inside there, and we'll take a peek-see inside. Actually, you know what? I've got silk touch. So, let me go over here. Oh, God, these freaking vector plates. Oh, God, let me out of here. So, yes, I just put the dreadful dirt down, and it looks like it was only a, what is that, a 4x4 area? Why can't I not? Oh, I'm on top of the mob crusher. Yeah! There we go. All right, so it looks like it was only a 4x4 area, the dreadful dirt. It didn't turn this into the dirt, which I'm not sure. So it's a very, very small space. I think maybe we'll get a couple more chickens and try and expand this out a little bit. I've made 2 of the mob fans. The mob fans are kind of pricey. 4 iron ingots, a block of redstone, and then stone slabs. And then inside there, I have 2 of the width upgrades. So you can see the blue and the yellow lines here. The yellow line is for the absorption hopper that we'll talk about in a second. And the blue line is for each one of these fans. So you can see this fan has 2 width upgrades, because initially it's just 1 straight line. So we've got 2 to either side there. And then also it's distance. So it goes out to where we guarantee the mobs will get pushed onto the vector plates. And then this one, I also added 3 height upgrades, so you can see it goes up. And this is helping keep the spiders from climbing up. It'll pull the spiders down and send them over here. And then we just use the entity conveyors, which the entity conveyors are relatively easy, but once again, expensive. You need slime, redstone, dust, and iron ingots. If you haven't found a slime, you can... why am I doing pink? Let's just go with slime here, so we can show you how to make some slime. Bam, there we go, slime balls. Which if you bulk blast these earth slime crystals, which we're getting from washing dust. So you can get the earth crystals and turn those into slime. So pretty easy to get, right? So we've got all these vector plates, and it's just forcing everything into that back corner there. And let's see if I can get out. Oh, then I put the redstone lights to obviously turn the machine off. Let me see. We want glass, and block there. And so then I made these 2 mob mashers. Once everything gets in the corner, they get stuck on these mob mashers. I haven't upgraded them much, but we've got a sharpness upgrade, a looting upgrade, and then the beheading so we can get their heads. And those are all relatively simple to make. Oh my god, can you please unhighlight mob at mob you grinding? Here we go. So we've got our fan upgrades there. Fan upgrades, it's all just feathers and iron, which is why we needed the chickens last episode. That was the whole point of all of that, was we needed to get feathers to make all this stuff. Yeah, see, it's all just feathers and a little bit of redstone. And then as far as these go, we're just lots of gold. It's just lots of gold, gold helmets. We've got more gold and iron swords, and then we've got some blue dye. So you can take lapis to make the blue dye. So yeah, all relatively easy to make. And then we have basically this absorption hopper, which I have set to down, so it's going to suck items down. And then I've set south for fluid, so we're collecting all the experience points that are coming up in here, as well as apparently just a butt ton of other stuff and things. I really need to get a controller over here. But then the absorption hopper is right here. So it's an ender pearl, which is from, you know, an enderman, obviously, and then 3 obsidian. So the obsidian we can get from bulk washing magma blocks. The magma blocks we can get from, well, how did I get these? Dripstone, I think. This is, I think, how I got my first magma block. But then we also got some magma blocks when we went to the Nether little fortress there the other day. So I had those, thankfully, and I was able to turn that into obsidian. And then the ender pearl, I got a couple endermen from my actual, like, when I had just the manual farm, I got some endermen from there. So pretty easy to make, right? Pretty simple to set up. And then I've just got right now just these going into a chest. But look at all these freaking loot boxes we have. Oh yeah, so that was that. So I got that all set up. Let me go ahead and turn it back on again. Bam. I want to keep collecting that XP. So we've done that, and then over here, I've started, if you crook dirt, I believe, is it dirt you can crook and you get flowers? No, grass. It's grass blocks. Yes, if you crook grass blocks, you can get all the flowers, so we can start getting dye. So I need to, that's why I want to expand the botany pot area, and so we can start setting up all these flowers, so we can start getting dye and the petals that we're going to need. Oh, but this is the big contraption. This is the piece de resistance that I've been working on. Whew, a lot over the past couple days. This has all got to go, but as you can see, I mean, it is just chock-a-block full. I've got both of these dang chests full. These dang chests are full. I mean, look at all of this craziness. But I did take our gravel-inator, and I put our gravel-inator over here, so now we're just getting auto iron and zinc. I need to set this up onto a blasting section. But then over here, I took all of our iron hammer setups, and I put them into an assembly to where it's auto making. I mean, look at this. Let's start down below. This has been running for maybe 30 minutes now, and look at this. I mean, it is, it's completely full. It is amazing. It is awesome. So what we have here is we have our little iron hammer assembly comes out to an andesite funnel, dumping onto a belt, and then the belt is going by all of these fans, which are just, you know, water to wash them, right? And so by the time they get to about here with the speed that I have on the belt, you should see some of it disappear. So I wasn't paying attention the other day, but if we look at dust, which is on the second page here, we look at dust, that you can see 6%, less than 1%, 10%, 3%, 10%. So you're going to notice a lot of these just disappear because there's not many chances for it to make stuff. But there you go. You saw some service quartz there. So then all I did here is these two fans are connected together by vertical gearboxes behind. And then because of the change in rotation with the gearboxes, when you add them together, when you change direction like this, I had to put the shafts in there along with gearboxes. And then we've got this is coming into, kabam, right here into a speed controller. And I have the speed controller set at 12. And that seems to be a decent amount. And then we've just got all our water wheels in the back seas. And so that's how we're powering it, which is more than enough power, but we're powering both sides, which is amazing. And then I have the, right underneath, this gearbox here is powering another gearbox, and then I've just got an andesite covered shaft coming here to power this belt. So on either side, the belts are powered from this center gearbox. And then we've just got the same assembly here. This side is doing gravel, so we've got another gravel iron hammer. And then over here, we're doing the sand and dumping the sand. And then I've basically just got an exact same assembly. I've just pieced another assembly right over. And so the only issue with this one is that because the andesite funnel is up higher, it counts this block as a place that it can drop right. So it sees an item on the belt and says, I can't place another one, but I can because of the air. So you notice it's dropping an extra one. As soon as this item moves down the belt line, though, it does pick that dropped item up and sends it down the line. So, and it's all infinite resource. It's not like we're wasting any here. So we've got that. And then coming over here on this side, I've done the haunting. So we've just got a line of soul sand, and we've made another sand iron hammer contraption, and we're just dumping the sand down here, creating soul sand. And then all of this is just going in a water stream underneath here, and that's then what's collecting in the chest down below. And then I just now finished building this. It's going to be manual for the time being, because I haven't quite found a good way to split this soul sand. Half to go left, half to go right. But so I've just got a manual chest here where I'm dumping soul sand in, and we're washing the soul sand in order to make our quartz and, what is it, quartz, glowstone, and gold nuggets. So we've got that semi-auto produced. Oh boy, but that has taken a while. That is of my own design, so I'm pretty proud of it. I think it's working really well. We're getting more resources than we really need. So what is actually going to be on the agenda for today other than making a botany pot room? I don't know. Oh, we also, did I have this in the last episode, our smelterator? I think I did. We're not really using it all that much, to be honest. I'm just dumping all the resources right here. Only thing I'm really using it for is to upgrade our cobble gens. So, okay. We have, well, I did go over here, and I have managed to block off this section and found 2 pillager spawners in there, which is why there was so many freaking pillagers nonstop. But this is crazy. We've got so much of this to have to explore. But let's look at our quest log, right? So getting started, the only thing we have left is the diamond cobble gen, which we need the blazes for, right? So I'm thinking our big goal today is I want to get all the way down here. Oh, that is too far. Wait. Oh, the world map's not open. I think my thing stops right here. Oh, great. So I am now, let's back up. Let's back up and have a little story time. So I decided, my buddy Dana, Big Red Jeep, wanted to play this along with me. And so we are in separate dimensions. He wanted to start in a different starting zone. I believe he's in the Drippy Cave. And plus, we didn't want our quest to intermingle because he didn't want to interfere with, completing quests for our videos. But so we will go visit his base every now and then whenever he's on. But so I had to put everything back on my server, and apparently all the world data didn't get saved over. I just now realized that we hadn't made it all the way down here into the Nether. I don't know if this is actually continuing. It doesn't look like it is. But so yes, I guess what we're gonna need to do. We're still on the same seed as we were before. Which, let's do this. Bam. There's the seed for anybody that wants it. And so we're going to go back up to the Nether, find the Nether dungeon, and we're going to try and lop off a couple blaze heads or find a blaze spawner, bring a blaze spawner back and set up our own blaze farm. So that is our goal number 1, because then we can complete the welcome section or the getting started section. And if we can find an end city, then we can get that done. We are not going to the boss dungeon. No. Storage. This is really what I want to get into today. So, do I want modular storage? No, I want this storage. I think this is the storage we want. Who is this by? Refined storage or ME storage? I don't know which one I want. I think I want refined storage. So I think we're going to work on this. So we're going to need to make a controller, which is going to require silicon, which, we can just smelt nether quartz down. So that's not too bad. Or the Certus quartz. Okay, that's really awesome. Before, you used to have to make, I can't remember what the machine is called. Starts with an A, but you would put it up next to a tree trunk, and then it would suck out liquid stuff, and then you had to smelt the liquid down, and it made silicon and plastic and a whole bunch of stuff. Advanced processor units, so we're gonna have to make, these are smelting raw advanced processor. Oh, no, not this crap again. Oh, at least it doesn't have a percentage chance. At least it just makes it. So, wow, this is diamonds. That's expensive. So, yes, okay, we're going to get into all of this. So, we're going to go find a nether dungeon, get that accomplished, get the blaze farm put up, and then we'll make the ME controllers. Why am I missing my button to go in here? And then we'll make the controllers. Storage is the name of the game today. We could do this as well. We need to make an XP solidifier, so I'll probably do that. Once we get 100 levels, that'll be done, and we'll have that all complete. I need to make the chicken stuff. And, not really worried about anything else, to be honest. Arnaveau, I'm going to set up all off camera because you've seen me do it before. Yes, so that's the goal. That is the goal. That is the name of the game. All right, I am going to get, all of this. And, oh, yes, I have a backpack now. So, basically, if we look at my bobble slot, we have a rare backpack. So, let me go ahead and show you how I made this real fast, too. Boink. So, backpack. So, I'm using these, the Simply backpacks. 3 leather, a chest, 2 white dye, and string. No big whoop. And that gives you, I think it's, what is that? 18 stacks extra space. And then the gold one is just 2 gold nuggets, block of gold, and yellow dye, which is why I crooked the grass blocks in order to get the flowers. Then you got same thing. It's just put the yellow one in there, blue dye, diamonds there. The epic backpack is going to require a nether star. Not there yet. And then the ultimate backpack is going to be netherite ingots, netherite block, and 2 nether stars. But look at this. That does 158 stacks. Like right now, we're up to a diamond, and that's 66 stacks of. So I have a lot of inventory space, which is very, very nice. So, okay. Oh, yeah, I got Mr. Luggage here. Have you seen this? Have you seen this mod? Look at this. If I... Wait, hold on. I want to whistle... Yeah, whistle follow right. Are you going to... Yeah, look at this. Look. It's the stupidest fucking thing ever. Look at this. And if I drop blocks... He chomps them up. Let me get something that's not... I think if I do these... does he go... Oh, he's not doing the nom 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 like he was doing before. Oh, come on. I know he nom noms. Where's my backpack? I want you to hear this sound. It's great. Oh, no, 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 no. Q, 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 Q. Yeah! Nom, 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 nom. It's so stupid. And I feel like I'm playing Ark Survival Evolved with these whistle commands there. So, yeah, I have like a little luggage chest that'll follow behind me. It's freaking great. Okay, anyway, back to it. I swear, one of these days I will eat some of this cake. I absolutely swear it shall be decreed that we shall eat cake. All right, meeting over. That is not how you ring the bell. Meeting over. All right, I have a whole bunch to show you. A whole bunch. As you notice, another new shirt. We spent all of yesterday doing stuff and things. I even went on a couple little adventures with Dana just to check out what he was doing in his portion of the world. Unfortunately, he's not on now, so we can't go check it out. But, yes, I had to make some adjustments. As you can see, our chest for our manual loading of the stuff and things is not the same. So, basically, I went AFK. I stuck myself down here in order to, I mean, look at this. Oh, that's right, Dana took some stuff. I stuck myself down here in order to, you know, AFK, get some stuff and things, and when I got back to my PC, I was at like 18 frames per second, and it was all I could do to get the wood that I had blocked myself in mined out, and then I looked up and I realized, oh, this doesn't stop running just because the chests were full. There was, good God, like 12 stacks of items just sitting down there. And then over at our mob spawner, there was about another 12 stack of items just chilling there. So, I've had to basically, I'm gonna leave this on. Unless I need to use the mob spawner, I will just leave this turned on, right? Just so that way we don't get that backed up. And I've created a little on-off circuit over here at, the little, farm over here. So I've got 2 ways to do this. I either have one lever right here, which will deactivate every single one of these andesite funnels, because this is okay. This can keep running, because it will stop itself once the chests get full. So we can leave this part running, but I have the andesite funnels locked out now. And so if I want to do like an individual line, like say I just want redstone, so I want the dust to go, I can flick this lever on while that lever down there is off, and then we can just run just this one line. And as you'll notice over here, this line's not running because I have the individual lever turned on. So we've got a way now to control each one of these lines individually, and we won't back ourselves up. Actually, you know what I should do? I should probably go chest this top chest. Yeah, we have plenty of space now. Oh boy, so that got fixed, and so we've done that. I've gotten rid of our chest here and added a bunch of diamond chests, and, yeah, they're full. They're all full, and the reason being is because over here at our farm area, we have taken all of our hopper pots out and we've moved them over to a section that I will show you in a second. Also, we've created a little nylium farm here. So there were a couple of the plants that I couldn't get for the hopper pot because I didn't have any idea how to do it. And so mainly it was the slimy ferns and the slimy tall grass and broad shrooms. And I learned a way to get those. So you had to make this nylium. So if we go into our JEI here and go nylium, basically, we've got crimson and warped, and this is how it actually started, is I needed the crimson nylium and the warped nylium, which I still don't have the warped nylium, but the crimson nylium, I needed for some of the stuff that's, like the crimson fungus and nether related stuff, right? So I did go and actually mine that. There is some of that in some of the dungeons, but then I needed this kind of stuff, this, bloody nylium and all these other ones, and so if we click on one of these, will it show me here? It will not show me. Will not show me, will it? Let's do this instead. I did not mean to back out of that. Let's go, I think it's broad, no, blood shroom, Nope, that's not how you spell that. Blood shroom, is this the one that's in the nether? Yes, he only grows on slimy nylium. So I was looking at this and it didn't tell me anything about it. However, I looked online and found that if you, how the hell did I do this? What did I do this with? I did this with something or other. Seeds. I had seeds. That's good lord. It's been a night. Seeds, slimy seed. Slimy seed. Here we go. So these. Oh boy, good gravy. My brain already. So slime blocks. You create slime blocks, crook the slime blocks, and you're gonna get a bunch of these slimy seeds. And there you go. That tells you. Plant on dirt or slimy dirt to make a slimy grass or on vines. So there we go. So I put the dirt down. I used the seeds that I got from crooking the slime. And then all you have to do is bone meal this and it'll get you the ferns and the tall grass and the grass stuff. And the blood shrooms. Good lord, that was my brain. My brain does not function very well if you hadn't noticed in the past 300 videos that I've made. Okay, that is all done. So we've done that. And the whole point of me showing you all that is because we have created a new space. And look at this. I've even started to decorate. So this is my plan now. I think this is going to kind of be our general block palette. We've got the spruce logs as supports because, you know, we don't have surface. We don't have the sky. We need to make something look cool. And so clearly mine is the way to go, right? And so you always see, like in the old school mines, you see the log supports, right? So we're gonna do that. We're gonna have spruce for the log supports, the little boutons, just to like act like screws or whatever, and nails in the end. Going with birch for the roof structure, and then these, I like these. These are just glowstone. So if we type in glowstone, you've got this variant right here, this smooth glowstone, and it's just using a chisel. So we just put the chisel, you know, click on the chisel in our hand, and then we can place the glowstone in there and allow us to make the smooth glowstone. So we've got that as some extra lights. Then I made a bunch of these lanterns, which I believe are supplementaries. Yeah, I thought they were Macaw's furniture, but I guess they're supplementaries. And so, yes, we have created our hopper botany pot area. And I need to go through and get all of the different not compacting drawers, just regular drawers. But I need to figure out what, like, you know, some of these only have one item that are being generated. Some of them have 2, some of them have 3, some of them have 4. So yes, but as you can see, we have a lot of the different items. Now, if you're struggling to find any of these certain items, just let me know in the comments below, and I'll kind of discuss how I got some of them. Most of them are from crooking. I mean, like if we just type in, say, seed, right? And then go to, like, say, something like flax seeds, right? Click on flax seed. You can see I can mill flax to get that, blah, blah, blah. So this right here, I believe I actually got the flax seeds from one of the traders. I think is how I got the flax seeds, is from a trader. But you can also do some stuff like cabbage seeds. Cabbage seeds we can get from crooking, I believe. Does it show us in, here's the actual, where's the actual cabbage? Let me type in actual cabbage like this, and then right click on the actual cabbage. And does it show us crooking? Maybe not. I got these from crooking, but I don't know why it's not showing it to us. Wild cabbage. Oh, here we go. Here we go. Okay, so if we make mycelium, we can then get sea beets, wild potatoes, carrots, wild cabbage, the tomato shrub, the wild onion, and wild rice. And in order to do that, we got mycelium, which requires slag, which generally I thought came from the forge or foundry or whatever it's called. But you can actually get the slag from smelting down, what is it? Slag, right here. You can actually get it from smelting down gravel. So I was able to get that way. Ah, crap. And then if we go cabbage again, and the wild cabbage, mycelium. So then you needed just any kind of mushroom, any kind of sand, and then the compost, which is wheat, dirt, and then the tree bark. And then the tree bark is just a cutting board, and then you're just basically stripping the log on the cutting board, and it will give you a byproduct of a tree bark as well. So I set up a cutting board over there. So I was able to make some of this different stuff and things, and I don't remember if, like, it was coarse dirt or what, no. But the sea beets, I got the, you know, the plant from mycelium, but then, of course, you don't plant the sea beet. What you have to do is grow it. So there's no plains, not plains, there's no ocean. The whole entire world, it seems, is just a plains biome. And so what I did was I just created a water source right here, and then I just planted the sea beets, and then bone mealed it. And you know, there we go. We got a whole bunch of sea beets in the water, which was pretty dope. So we've got all the sea beets. And then the only thing I'm really missing, I've got a whole list sitting right here of what I got left. And we basically need to do some Art Nouveau stuff to get Mage Bloom. We need to figure out how to get all of the mystical flowers. The mystical flowers that I currently have were just in reward chests or whatever. So I have, thankfully, I have the white one, which we're gonna need for the starter stuff and things of Botania. And then I have, what is it? I have like, I think the purple and the orange one. Yes, I've got the orange one right here. So it might just be white, blue, and orange. I think it might be the only flowers I have. But yeah, so I've got a bunch of stuff and things. Whew, long explanation. So we are going to continue growing this. There's technically 158 things that you can grow into a botany pot, and we are at about like 93 of them, I think. So we still have a whole bunch more. And so these are 30 pots per wall. So we've got 120 pots available once I get these 10. And we'll just put the remainder here in the middle. But yes, we started our growing facility, so now we have a lot of decoration blocks and stuff and things, which is really, really awesome. And then we come into this room, and this is going to be the focus for the rest of today. I am going to create this into our magic area. So we're going to do Art Nouveau here, which I already started a little bit on before I realized, you know, I want to show you a little bit of this. So we got Art Nouveau here. We'll do blood magic here, or sorry, Botania. No, this is going to be blood magic. And then Botania is going to be back here. So we'll have to come up with a theme for each little area, but it just kind of made sense to put all the magic in one spot. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to basically walk you through the quest log stuff and things. We're not going to build it all on camera because there's just no reason to, but we'll talk through the quests, and then I'm going to cut away and do something with it all, get everything all built up, try and figure out how the heck to do it, because it's been a while since I've done either Botania. It's been like 6-7 years since I did Botania, and it's been what, a year, 2 years since I've done Art Nouveau. So yes, let's do that already right now. Bam. Okay, so getting started, we still need to find the blaze head. I've gotten blaze rods, but I haven't gotten blaze heads. Exploration, no. Let's just move on down to Art Nouveau. So Art Nouveau, you start right here with the novice spellbook. The novice spellbook is pretty easy to make. It's just a book and then all the iron tools, and that gets you a novice spellbook. So let's go ahead and grab that on out. Kabam, kabam. Oh, I got the hiccups. So the novice spellbook doesn't do anything by itself, right? We don't have any spells done, but you make this little scribes table in the very next step right here. So the scribes table is just 3 archwood slabs, which fortunately we got the archwood from the quest lines and whatnot. Actually, no, from the dirt. From cooking dirt, we got all of the archwood. So we got the plankage action, we've got just a stripped piece of archwood, and then sticks makes a scribe table. And then in order to make spells and whatnot, like this one right here, this is the very first thingy-majigger that it wanted us to do, we've got a spell. You already know this spell. So what you do is you come over here to the table. Can I please pick that back up? That is not what I wanted to do. you come over here with your spell book, you right-click on, right-click on the table, and then it's going to open up your book, right? And so now what we do is we'll have to say, I want to learn the projectile spell. So we're going to click on that and say select, and then you're going to notice that above the table, it's going to require an arrow and a Fletcher's table. And we just gonna go grab those items, we'll dump them on the table, and then it'll do a little animation and magic, and then it'll give us basically, in essence, like this right here. This one was the glyph of touch. And then once you get that, you can click on it and learn it. Now, we don't need to do this because these ones that are highlighted are already learned. What we want to do is click on all the ones that we haven't learned and select that. So now you can see we've got some iron boots, and it looks like, is that just a pressure plate sitting in the air there? And then that'll teach us the new one. So I'm going to have to go through this entire book and learn all of these. And so you can see now, if I hit C, this is going to bring up all the stuff we know. So if I click on, like, say, self, and then not harm, I don't want to do that. If I click on touch and then break, and then I click here, and I can say a spell name, I can say Instamine, like this, right? That's what I'm going to call that. And we're going to select slot 1 over here on the tab, which I just removed that. Can you please Instamine? And then I can say create. And now you can see that if I have my spell number 1 selected, and I right-click, and I come over here to the stone, bam, there we go. Now I have the ability to mine with a spell. That's pretty awesome. Okay, so that is all well and good. I don't want to have that in my hand. I don't need to have that in my hand. What I want to do is go back to my freaking quest book. So I did those 2 off camera. You've seen me do all of this in all the mods 8 and 9. So I'm not going to do all this on camera. However, I just want to walk you through it. So Mage's Spellbook is going to be the next one. It's 3 diamonds, a block of obsidian, our original novice spellbook, 2 blocks of quartz, and 2 blaze rods. And all this does really is it allows us to go to tier 2 spells. So we can do better and better spells, create longer spells, that sort of thing. And then if we come back into here, now this, the Archmage Spellbook, is going to require us to be done with Ritual Blazer and making this Mage's Spellbook. So that's going to be kind of like the end. This is the end goal, and this is like the highest tier of the spell books. So that's going to be a while in the making. So what we're going to do instead is come over here to Imbuement Chamber. Now the Imbuement Chamber, you're going to craft items with it, right? So the Imbuement Chamber is just archwood planks, gold, and then we'll place it down. And what we're really going to do with this is, I believe that's the thing that we're going to use to make these right here, source gems. So you put lapis in it, and we'll set it up just like the millstone was. We'll have a chest that goes into the Imbuement Chamber. Out of the Imbuement Chamber will be whatever items are coming out, in this case, source gems. So we're going to put in lapis lazuli, and it'll turn into source gems. So that'll get us those, and then we'll make this ergonomic source link. Now there's a bunch of different source links. Each one of these uses a different source to create the mana power that we're going to use for everything else coming down the line. Ergonomic, I believe, is just from plants. So the mage blooms, the source berries, and it will work with like wheat and carrots and potatoes and stuff, but that's a weaker source. So you want to use the Arnavo sources if possible. I think it even works with the trees. Volcanic is going to come from lava stuff. Alchemical, it should be some sort of like chemistry stuff, but I'm not exactly sure what items. Vitalic, I believe, is killing animals or having animals nearby that are having babies, I think is what does that one. And then mycelial is from the mushrooms, the mycelium stuff. So that's all that. And then we need a place to store that mana once we get it all done. So that's just glass archwood slabs. So we'll have a couple of those set up. And this is how we're going to store any excess mana to be able to use for other machines. And then that is going to follow up with a source relay, because obviously we're going to need to get it from the jars to whatever machine we need. So there's various different source relays. One's a warper, one's a splitter, so that way it'll go multiple directions. One deposits it somewhere, one collects it from somewhere, and then we've got just a regular relay. So if all we have is the source link and then the jar, we can just have a relay from the link to the jar kind of deal. So that is that. And then we're going to come down here to enchanting apparatus. So this is how we're going to start making the real pieces and parts that we're going to need for our Nouveau. So the enchanting apparatus, just a diamond, some iron, and then these arcane stones. Arcane stones are just any kind of stone around a source gem, and it gets you 8 of them per one, which is pretty nice. So we'll make that, and then what you have to have is the enchanting apparatus is the middle point, and then you're going to have a bunch of ritual braziers, or sorry, arcane pedestals around it, and you'll put the items that you're going to need to craft with on the pedestals, so we'll have 8 of those. And then once you place the items in the correct order on them, it'll do some little magic stuff and then make your item in the middle of the enchanting apparatus. So the arcane pedestals are just a bunch of arcane stone. So from there, then we'll be able to finally start making stuff and things. So the first stuff and things we'll want to do is make our clothing, right? So the clothes for this doesn't really do too much for the armor side of things, but as you have a full set, it lets your mana pool either use it less or have more of it available. And this is all pretty easy. So this is just Mage Bloom fiber, which is just from a Mage Bloom, and the Mage Bloom is from Mage Bloom seeds. And the Mage Bloom seeds are created from 4 source gems and any kind of seed on the enchanting apparatus, and it gets us that. So we'll have to do that, and that's all for all of it. The second tier of clothes is going to be out of blaze fiber, which requires Mage Bloom fiber and then blaze powder. So we really need to get a whole bunch of blazes done. And then the last tier of robes is going to be end fiber, which requires the blaze fiber and pop chorus fruit, which fortunately we have chorus fruit being made, so all you have to do is just smelt down that. So really what we need is we need some blazes. So that's all our robes. And then we'll move the other direction, and this is charms. So the charms are going to spawn in like little mobs that you, the mobs that you saw over in our farming area. Some of those, I can't remember what they're called, the whirlings and the little like squirrel-looking dudes. These will spawn those in, and there's a couple others that are going to do some other stuff for us that we haven't seen yet. But so we're going to have to make all these charms, and the charms are made in the enchanting apparatus. Now you can see why we need 8 of those arcane pedestals. Surrounding those, we'll get those charms. And then each charm has like a specific requirement of how you use the charm to get the little pet or whatever you want to call them. Or sorry, no, these are the familiars. So these are just like the animals that are going to give us items. Oh boy. So the familiars are going to be from a tablet of binding. So you're going to have a blank parchment, which the blank parchment is just a whole bunch of Mage Bloom fiber on paper. And then you're going to use the source gems, an ender pearl, and any kind of log, and that'll get us a tablet of binding. And then we're going to have to make all these bound familiars. So we'll make all these little scripts for all these different, Starbuncle. That's what the name of those scroll guys are called. And then that'll get us a familiar that will give us more items. Oh boy. And then finally, the ritual brazier. So this is how I believe we're going to use the charms and whatnot, and also some other stuff and things. So just gold, an arcane pedestal, a source gem block, and then here we go, our ritual tablets. These are all different other tablets. So the binding was to get a familiar, and these ones, like, it'll give me flight, it'll give me sunrise, which sunrise, what does it matter? We're inside, and then all that sort of stuff. So we'll make all of those. I did all of this in all the mods 9. We completed all of this. So yes, that is the full, and that is not the full extent. Like if we come down in here and type in at ours, you can see there are 3 pages of stuff and things in JEI. So there's a lot of stuff, but we're going to get the basics put down. Oh boy, that was a whole lot of explanation for our Nouveau. Next up, we have a blood magic. Now, blood magic, I didn't do too much with in all the mods 9, but we got through a little bit of it, and it looks like there's some stuff here that I don't remember. Like, I think we got up to the dagger of sacrifice is about where we got. So the blood altar stores LP, or blood, basically, and uses it to craft items. So we're going to make a blood altar, which is just any kind of stone, and then a furnace, and then 3 gold, and it makes the altar of blood. And then we need a sacrificial knife. So this, you actually cut yourself, and it puts blood in. Kind of, morbid. So it's just glass, gold, and iron. So that'll get us the first step. And then we're going to want to come in and make blood altar in different tiers. So each one of these is just kind of decoration. But for the start of it, we're going to create a blank rune, just a blank rune block. And so that's going to require just any kind of stone, and then a blood orb, which requires a weak blood shard, which we need this, the alchemical reaction chamber. So we're really not going to be able to do much with that right off the bat. But what we can do is create a soul snare, which is just string in the blood altar, and we have to have at least 500 LP of blood in there. And then this, if we throw it at a mob, they have a chance of getting white particles. Killing them will drop a demon will. And so then that'll get us this quest, which will be the demon will. And then we need to make a Tartaric gem, which will absorb and store demon will as it is picked up. And so this is just lapis, gold, breadstone, and a piece of glass, along with the Tartaric gem in a hell forge. So the hell forge is this right here. The hell forge uses will, either from the will from itself or a Tartaric gem to craft items. So this is just iron, this blank slate, which is just any kind of stone in the blood altar, and that'll get us to hell forge, and then we can actually make like the next level ups of these. Oh boy. So then blank slates, we're gonna need to, we already saw how we do that, and then that'll be able to make the dagger of sacrifice. So now this will be used on mobs, not on ourselves, and that is just a sword inside there with 3,000 LP. Oh boy. Oh boy. Blood orbs, the weak blood orb, diamond in the blood altar, apprentice orb is redstone block in the blood altar, and then we've got a gold block in the altar, and then this one is going to be that weak blood shard, which we're gonna not get to today whatsoever. And then rituals, don't know if we're gonna get up to this. This is gonna get us there though. I think what we'll do is we'll go to the alchemical table, which is just stone, a plank, iron, gold ingots, and a blank slate will get us the table. And then we can start creating all of our different reagents and stuff like that that'll tier us up. So I think we're gonna basically get up to the table today in blood magic. And then now over here, Botania. Botania is fun. I like Botania, but it takes a lot of setup. I think we're really probably only gonna get up to the runic altar today with this. So we got fertilizer that we need to get, any kind of dye, which fortunately we have pretty much every flower now. And then bone meal will get us to fertilizer. And then the table is just gonna be cobblestone and any kind of petal. So thankfully we have a few of the flowers going, so we can, you take any kind of the mystical flower, put it in your crafting table, it makes petals, so we can make the apothecary terminal there. Oh, grows mystical flowers when used. Oh, so we can just use this on dirt. We're gonna get all of the mystical flowers today. Yes, perfect. Okay, good job. Good job that I read that. The pure daisy converts stone and logs around it to living rock and living wood. So what we'll do is we'll basically make one of these in the apothecary. So these, unlike needing all of the steps around it, you just toss these into the petal apothecary. And then what they'll do is they'll create whatever item is needed. So in the case of this, we just need 4 white petals. It'll get us a pure daisy. We put the pure daisy on a piece of dirt, and then we just surround it, kind of like we're making an enchantment table, where you put the enchantment table in the middle, leave a block space, and then surround it with logs and or stone. And that'll get us the living wood and the living rock. And then we can use that to make a mana pool. Now the mana pool is going to collect all the mana, just like it sounds like, right? And then we're going to need a spreader. So the spreader is going to take different items from different flowers and other things that we'll put down, that just like with the Art Nouveau, with the source links and whatnot in the jars, this will basically take from the source and put it into the mana pool for us. So that's just living wood. It looks like any kind of flower petal, and then a gold ingot. And so that'll get us that ability. But in order to get the first amount of source for us is going to be endo flames. Oh, this is a whole lot of stuff. We're talking about a whole lot of stuff, aren't we? So the endo flames are these specific petals, brown, red, and light gray in the apothecary, and that'll make us the endo flame. And so then we'll put the endo flame down. The spreader will grab from the endo flame and put it into the pool for us. It's very, very slow unless we have a whole bunch going on. So from the mana pool, then we can make our first like runic altar. So this is going to be like the, not the imbuement chamber, the enchanting apparatus in Art Nouveau. This is going to start allowing us to craft stuff and things other than just the basic materials. Whew. So here we go. Living rock surrounded by a mana diamond. A mana diamond is created by just tossing a diamond into the mana pool as long as there's enough mana in there, which unfortunately doesn't tell us how much. Oh yeah, right here. About what, an eighth full in the mana pool will get us the mana diamond. This is a very expensive mod. And so I think we might be able to get here. So make a terrestrial words are hard. Terrestrial agglomeration plate. The terrestrial agglomeration plate, we're just going to call this TAP, the TAP, uses mana from sparks connected to nearby mana pools with sparks to craft terrestrials. So this is a spark. It's just 2 kind of petals, gold nugget, blaze powder. We'll make a spark, and then it's going to pull from that, right? So here we go. This is just blocks of lapis lazuli. Good lord, that's expensive. And then all of these runes. So now these runes are going to be made in the runic altar. Well, that's a lot of stuff. We're not going to get into that really, I don't think. I don't know if we're going to get here. Mana steel is created from molten mana steel. How do we get this? How do we get this? How do we get mana steel? That's what I want to know. Mana steel ingots, crafted, casting... from the mana pool. Here we go. Iron ingots in the mana pool to make mana steel ingots. So yeah, we might get to that point, but as you can see, I've got a bunch of stuff and things to do. I don't think I'm going to get to decorating these areas today. I kind of want to just get the basics put down, and then once we have the basics put down, we can kind of figure out, like, I'm not going to do this. Like, I'm going to incorporate this style throughout the entire facility, but I kind of have to get the basics down before I then dress it up. So we'll have, like, the basics of this in these rooms, but then I want to make each room, you know, I want this to look like a greenhouse, because it's Botania, like botanical gardens. I want this to kind of look like it's in the forest, a mystical, you know, archwood forest, and I want this to kind of look evil, like, because it's blood magic, it's dark magic. So, oh boy. Okay, on that note, though, I'm gonna get to working. I've got a lot of gathering and stuff to do. I mean, I have most of the items, I think, for the starter stuff and things in each one of these chests. As you can see, I've kind of gathered up what I think is potentially quite a bit of the starter stuff and things of this. So yeah, I'm gonna get on that. That was a long-winded explanation for a whole bunch of stuff and things, but here we go, off to crafting. Well, boy, have we gotten a lot accomplished. So I haven't gotten everything done that I said I was going to, but oh boy, have we gotten most of it. So let me just get rid of this little dude right here. So as you notice, I have a familiar with me, a little dude, one of the Drigmies, I believe their names are. Yeah, Drigmy, from Art Nouveau, and we'll explain that in a second. Also, these I got in a reward. They're from Immersive Engineering. They're going to require power, so we don't have that yet. I just figured, you know what? They're going to actually make really good decoration. I'm thinking if we put one on each one of the pillars, or like every other pillar, they're going to be pretty good decoration, and they're part of the gardening stuff, so you can grow stuff really fast in them. So once we get started with power, I think that'll look really cool. I like the steampunk vibe. So yes, let me step back a bit. As we come into here, we've got Art Nouveau, we've got blood magic, and we've got Botania going on. So I guess let's start with Art Nouveau. I've kind of begun to do a little bit of decorations. We're not going to do much with all the magic stuff and things like we did in all the mods. It was really, really beneficial in all the mods, and I'm sure we're going to find some benefits for this in, you know, StoneBlock as well. However, I don't think I'm going to do it too much, but I've got a little basic setup. There's no automation or anything really going on over here. But what we have is we've got our imbuement chamber set up with a chest going into another chest, and then I've just set up your basic redstone filter system. So if we look in this top chest, we've just got birch signs with the source gems, and we're just sticking all the lapis in here, and then it's just making us all of our source gems automatically. And then we have in the middle, there's a couple things that the quest log, if we look at the quest log here, Art Nouveau, it basically has you go from making your book and your scribe's table to the imbuement chamber. But as you notice, it doesn't tell you anything about what needs to happen with your imbuement chamber. So obviously, highly recommend, wrong button, I need to go to my inventory. Highly recommend you get this as part of your quest log, you know, for that very first quest, making your spell book. This will tell you all about pretty much everything you need. And one of the first things is going to be, where's it at? Right here. Sources. No, not sources. Right here. Enchanting. How to enchant? Nope, wrong. Everything's wrong. Rituals, tier 1, resource decorations? Where the hell is this thing at? I know it's in here somewhere. Maybe if we just do this. How about we just use the entry index? And we need to find the enchanting apparatus. So the enchanting apparatus, if you look underneath here, it shows you that you need arcane pedestals, which it does talk about inside the quest log, but what it doesn't talk about is the arcane core. So the arcane core you put underneath. So we've got, let me break one of these blocks here. My diamond pickaxe is about to break, so I'm having to use this. Right here, you see this arcane core? This has to be underneath your enchanting apparatus for this all to work, otherwise it doesn't. So it doesn't explain that in the quest log. And then in the book, it'll tell you that you can put up to 8 of these arcane pedestals around the enchanting apparatus. However, it doesn't tell you that you can put it 1 block down. So I've gotten them in the ground so we can actually walk around here. And then the way you use this enchanting apparatus is you'll put whatever items are in the crafting recipe. It all depends on what you want to build. Like in the case of, like, where do we have it? I think we have in this chest right here. There's another item that the quest log doesn't tell you about, this Dominion Wand. So if we look up Dominion Wand, hey look, Big Red Jeep is online. If we look up Dominion Wand, you can see that it requires 2 source gems, gold, and then a stick. So it doesn't really matter where we put these on this, as long as they are in, pushing all the buttons, as long as they're kind of in this configuration. So if we put a piece of gold here, and then the source gem, and then you click on the enchanting apparatus with a stick, and then it does some cool magic stuff. And do we have stuff? You know what? Let's go ahead and make one more of these. Why not, for the camera, just so you guys can see how cool the animation kind of looks. And not to mention, you know, it never hurts to have some extra stuff and things. So if we come over here, we'll put the gold down, put I need another stick. Can I have another stick, please? Thank you. Stick, and so you can kind of see it's in that configuration. That is not what we wanted. That's why I grabbed one stick out. I am a doomcoff. There we go. Source gems, gold, and then we go click, and this never gets old. I love the animation of this. That's so freaking cool. And then as soon as it gets done, you'll see these will pop away, get the little fireworks, and bam, now we've got a Dominion one. So that's how that works. It's pretty simple. You just have to look up whatever recipe you want. So the next thing is that this is going to take a source. It needs source in order to work. Like if we look at the Dominion wand, it doesn't really tell us there. Maybe on some of the, let's see, does it tell us in our notebook? If we look under... not glyphs, not automation, enchanting, does it show here? No, see, it doesn't show any of the source levels. So this is going to require a certain amount of source to work. And so what we have placed down is a bunch of source berries, some mage bloom, which we'll get into the mage bloom in a second, all around the platform here. And then what we have is an ergonomic source link, because this source link, as we explained earlier, this source link is taking from the plants. Now, I'm pretty sure it only provides source as the stuff is growing. So I think if I was to chop this down once it's fully grown, like, do we have any fully grown? Hey, I still need 2 more seeds. If we have any fully grown, like this right here, I believe now, as this starts growing, this will start collecting source. And now, I don't have any source relays anywhere because I don't need them because of how small this is. But basically, any source jar within 5 blocks of a source link will automatically suck the source up. And every once in a while, you'll see a little, like, purplish beam go across. And that's the source coming from the source link into the jar. And now, I don't need a relay to bring it from the jar to here, because these are all within 5 blocks of this. So the source will just naturally come from the jar to here. So yeah, as long as I keep coming around and kind of just, you know, make sure I'm harvesting this so these are in a growing nature, then we should constantly be having source come here and I can come make everything. So that's all of that set up. The scribes table, we already talked about how to make our spells, which I haven't done any yet. And then the next thing is this ritual brazier. So the ritual brazier is going to require any kind of a ritual stuff, right? So if we go a ritual, actually, you know what, why don't we, you know what, that actually popped up, it showed. So all of these right here, these tablets, each one of these tablets is going to do a different function. So the first one that I got, and the reason I got this little dude right here, and it wants it in the quest log, is the tablet of binding. So if we go tablet of binding, you can see that inside a crafting table, I needed a blank parchment of archwood, and this time it's a vexing archwood, an ender pearl, and 3 source gems. And then it makes this. And then what you do is you come over here to this table and you go bloop, and you put the, you have to, I had to drag this guy over. So I just went over to our little farmland way over there, found this dude, got him on a lead, and I drug him all the way over here. And while he was here, then I put the binding tablet down. And because he was within the area of this ritual table, the ritual was performed and I bound the Drigme to me. The first Drigme that you get actually disappears on you. He becomes into a new piece of paper, which I think we might be able to just type in Drigme here, Drigme, and it gives you this right here. So this is going to be a bound script of Drigme. And then if we look at our spell book, which I put away, bam, where's my spelly book, which is now the mage spell book, the tier 2 spell book. So if I think it's C, yeah, C, to open up my spell book, there's this little tab right here that says familiars. And so now all I need to do is just click on this, and this little dude shows up. There is a cooldown. You can't, like, if you have all the familiars, you can't just, like, spam a bunch of familiars. It's going to be just this guy is going to pop in. And I could, if I wanted to, how my spellbook. I could assign this to one of my slots, I think. No, I guess you can't assign it to a slot. So yeah, so that's how I got this little dude here. And he'll do different stuff for us. I have no idea what he does because I haven't paid attention to him. But yeah, so we've just dressed this up a little bit with some arcane stone and some archwood planks and just gave it kind of a little bit of a feel. We will do the walls later, but not necessary right now. I'm pretty much done with our Nouveau for quite a while. Unless I really need something, I'm not really going to do much over here. But so there's our Nouveau in its most simplest form. You can automate a whole bunch of stuff. You could build some animal pens and automate some of the source relays, and you can do a whole bunch of stuff with this, and we may get in that in a different day, but for the time being, meh, it's done. Now on to blood magic. So blood magic, it wanted us to build this right here, the blood altar right off the bat. That was the quest line for us, and by the way, the only thing we have left is the Archmage spellbook, and that's because it requires a Nether star. And a Wilden tribute, which means I have to summon the Wilden boss and go kill him. Oh, and it also requires the Totem of Undying. Good lord, that requires a lot of stuff we don't have. Okay, that is done with that. Blood magic. The first thing you build is this blood altar, which we showed was just stone, a furnace, and gold. And then you have to build this sacrificial knife, which is the glass, the gold, and the iron. And so what you want to do is when you're standing over here, then we're going to grab out our little sacrificial knife, and you're going to go right-click, stab, 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 and you see my life is going away, and the, would you give me that back? And you can see that now we're getting more essence inside this blood altar. So the next thing that it wanted us to do was to create a soul snare. And so the soul snare was just made out of string. So while you have this blood altar full of fluid, you toss the string in here with right click and it puts the string in, and then it makes that little soul snare. And then fortunately for me, which actually, why don't we go ahead and do this? We have 2 more right here. So I have no food. Oh, goodness gracious. We should have maybe some slimes over here. Yes, I'll show you what the bound, like not the little soul snares, the soul snares do. So if we come over here, right click on this slime, you're gonna see he's got the little white particles around him now. And if I smack his bootay, oh, he didn't do it. Are these guys snared? Nope. Yoink. Like, yeah, let's snare these guys. Yoink, yoink. There you go, right there. You see on the ground, that blue part, that is a demon will. So you have to kill the dudes that have the little white wisps above them after you've right-clicked one of those soul snares on them. And that will give us the demon's will. So that completed that part of the quest. And then with those, the next step was to make a tartaric gem, which you can't do because you notice the little lines go this way and this way. So we wanted a blank slate. The blank slates are just putting stone inside that altar up there. Disregard all of these steps that I'm having to take. Just this altar right here. We put a piece of stone in it. It gives us the blank slate. And so then after that, we can then make the Hellfire Forge. And the Hellfire Forge is the 2 iron, the blank slate, a block of iron, and then stone around it. And that made this little thing right here. So if we come into here, now we can start making all the different stuff and things that it wanted, like this right here. And all you have to do for this one was you put a redstone, a gold, a lapis, and the stained glass inside here. And if we click on it again, and then right here in this corner, you'll see if I put the demon will in here, then this right here will count towards whatever's here, and it'll start firing itself up. This is basically the fuel for this particular furnace. And that gave us that tartaric, petty tartaric thingamajigger right here. And a gem used to contain a little will. So there we go, all right? So that was that. And from there, I wanted to start tiering up this. But first I made the alchemy table. The alchemy table was just stone, another blank slate, iron, gold, and planks. And with this, we can now do more crafteration of stuff and things. And that crafteration of stuff and things required the weak blood orb. So this blood orb gives you a pool of LP, and we'll show that in a second. But it was just sticking a diamond up there. And so now that we have that, and it is in our hotbar, this right here will store a certain amount of life. And so if I right click on it, you'll notice, just like with the sacrificial knife, it now takes my health. And so when we come inside here, we'll stick the blood orb in here, and this is going to basically be the fuel for this one. You basically need that thing as filled up as possible, and then when you're crafting in here, that kind of acts as like the crafting reagent. So that was that. This right here is going to be a while for me to get up to because we need 5,000 LP inside this right here before we can do anything. And sacrificing my own life will not keep this full enough. So what we're going to need to do is we're going to need to kind of bring some... We're going to need like a little spawner over here. I think what we'll do is we may make a little spawner in the ceiling that brings the enemies just above here. So we can sit here and smackaroo some of our enemies and use their life force instead of my own. Good Lord, I'm about dead. All right, so then that was that, and so then the next thing that I made was this arcane ashes, which is redstone, a white dye, gunpowder, charcoal, and then as you see, that blood orb inside this right here. And it doesn't matter how you put those items in here, as long as you have those items in here, it will start crafting. Oh boy, so that was as far as I got with this, because everything else is going to be crazy bananas and expensive, and we don't have the stuff for it right now. So now moving on to Botania, which pretty much, oh, actually, you know what? There is one more thing I need to explain. The whole reason I have this at different levels. So the way that you tier this up, kind of how we have the enchanting table around here like this will, you'll be able to craft bigger and better things as you tier this up. So if we look at our book here, and let's back out of all of this and go to the blood altar. This will explain everything about all of your tiers and whatnot. The big thing here is tier 2. Tier 2 requires 8 of these these right here. These right here. The blood altar tiers. And so we could make a whole bunch of these, except for the fact that they're all stupid expensive. Like they require blank slates and sugar and blah, blah, blah. So all I did for the time being is I just made 8 of these ones. So I made 8 blank slates. We have our blood orb, which doesn't get used in the crafting of this. It's just needed, right? And then you got your stone. So I made 8 of those, and then we place them in a configuration around the altar, as you can see right here in the picture. And then essentially what I did is I'm future-proofing. I'm prepping for the next tiers. So tier 3, as you notice, you got to be down and over 1, and it takes 20 of the runes, and then blah, 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 so on and so forth, right? So basically what I've done is I've set myself up to be able to, as we get the next level runes and whatnot, we can just start tiering this up. Just prepping for the future, basically. And that can go in there. All right, that's everything. Whew, that is a whole bunch of stuff and things. I need to go make some more food. And then finally, we have Botania. And as you notice, look, I've got all the mystical flowers. It's so amazing. So the fertilizer doesn't turn it into grass. I had to use grass seed to turn it into grass. And I wanted the nice looking grass in here. But that floral fertilizer that we saw, oh yeah, I forgot. Source berries don't stop using as you're eating them. So the very first thing that Botania wanted you to do was make this floral fertilizer, which was just any kind of dye, and we got all the plants in the world growing, and then bone meal. So we did that, and I crafted a whole bunch of that up, and then I just started spamming it around here, and look, we've got all of the flowers. And what's cool is I've already got set up back over here. Oh my god, these source berries just do not keep you sated. I swear. Oh, it's because I'm healing, that's why. So over here, you can see we've started to put all of the mystical flowers are all growing here. So I'm done with just the regular level of mystical flowers, but we need the tall ones. So I'm going to need to get some shears or whatever I need in order to grab these tall flowers off and get those planted as well, just so we have an extra growth of those. And there's also some shimmering mushrooms, which I'm not sure how I get those to grow, but they didn't grow here. Yes. So we have flowers. So that was step number 1. Step number 2 was to then create the petal apothecary. The apothecary, just any kind of petal and 6 cobblestone inside here. So now any of these flowers, right? We can come over here to our crafting table. Any of the mystical flowers you put down and you can see, bam, they craft into the petals. So that was nice and easy enough to do. And now I want to grab out these seeds, and we want the white. Where's white? Do I not have any more white flowers? Let us grab this right here and this one right here. Nope. Okay, I'm just gonna grab this whole tall thing. Maybe this one right here will give me all of the flowers that I need. Will it give me 4? It gives me 4. Perfection. Perfection. That is the blood altar. This is Botania. So now that we have the apothecary placed down, and all I have underneath there is just one of those glowstone lights. Once you have the apothecary, you've got to fill it with water, which is why I have an infinite water source sitting over here. And then you come walking up to this and you go, whoa, Q, 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 Q. And there you go. I just dropped all of those flowers in there. And then the final thing, and you'll see that it gives the check mark. And it tells me what I need as the final ingredient. And then bam, place that in there. And look in my inventory, we have a pure daisy. So the pure daisies are going to be placed here in the middle, surrounded by, in this case, I've done 4 logs and 4 stone, but you can surround it with all stone or any kind of logs. And then over time, you'll see it do some particle effects, and over time, it will then turn into this living rock and living wood. Oh boy, so that completed this quest right here. And the next thing we need to do is make a mana pool, which is made out of the living rock, and a mana spreader, which is made out of the logs, petal, and gold ingots. The next thing we need there, and it's not listed inside the quest log, is this. Where's my inventory? Is bam, bam, bam. Let's go to the Lexica Botania, and I love this thing. Watch when I close it. There's such good animation on this thing. I love it. So the Lexica Botania is going to talk about the mana pool and the mana spreader, and I don't believe it shows you in here. It might not. Does it show in the spreader section? It does say right-clicking the spreader with a piece of wool, blah, 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 blah. It does not tell you in... Oh, yeah, Wand of the Forest. It doesn't show you in the quest line, but you need this Wand of the Forest, and the Wand of the Forest is made with living twig, which is also not explained in the quest line, and petals. So the living twig is basically just 2 pieces of living wood. So let's go twig. Is 2 pieces of wood, the living wood, stacked on top of each other, and that's, or the logs, I should say, and that's going to give you the twigs. So you're just going to make that wand in a quest, not a quest, in a crafting table, and that's this right here. And so with this in the open air, you can sneak click, I believe, yes, and that changes the mode. So there's a function mode and a bind mode. Really, all I care about is the bind mode. So we're going to place these spreaders down in some location where we're going to have a particular flower behind it. In the case of this, I've got 2 endo flames, and then you sneak, you right click on the mana spreader, and you see the little box highlights, and then you're going to click a mana pool, and you can see that this has now kind of adjusted itself down. It's aimed at the mana pool, and now whatever kind of mana that this grabs is going to spit it at this particular mana pool. That's something that they don't talk about in the quest line. You got to kind of figure it out. So we've done that. Next thing is we need to get mana flowing into the spreader, and all of these flowers all around here aren't going to cut it. And so what you need there is an endo flame. So if you come on in here, endo flame. And so this is going to be made in the apothecary. It's 2 brown petals, a red petal, and a light gray petal. And then it's going to require a seed as well. And then that makes the endo flame. So I've stuck this right behind, and I think I could put these in, like, I could put 6 of them here. I can't remember, but oh, the torque mod works to make large ones. Is that how I made these large as well? I didn't even notice that. Look, we're learning stuff on camera. So these endo flames, they require any kind of burning material that would be used in a furnace. So if I drop this down here, you're going to notice here in a second, boom, you see the flame coming out of the endo flame, and now this is getting, see, there we go, it's spreading the mana. And so there we go with that. We'll just toss a couple of these down. It takes a while for this mana pool to fill up. You notice the blue line there is, there's barely any blue line coming off of it all. Which leads us to the next step. We need to make a runic altar, and the runic altar requires a mana diamond. And the mana diamond, if we pull out our diamonds from our inventory, you're going to notice when I walk up to the mana pool, hey, I can actually do it now. Can I actually toss you in here? Bam, there we go. That was pretty instant. Oh, and it didn't even use up my diamond. Really? That time it did use up my diamond. So it looks like you get... Where'd my diamond go? It apparently decided to finally disappear. There we go. We got the mana diamond, which means if I grab out, we have 6 of this living rock. Ooh, look at this. We get to do some stuff. Yoink. I've been waiting a while for that mana pool to get full. You can do a whole bunch of stuff and things to make that work a little bit better. But you know, we're just doing our thing. Bam. There we go. We got a runic altar. Whoa. Look at the stuff flying in the air. That's crazy cool. Okay, hey, we completed a quest. There we go. Bam, bam, bam. which now means we have completed everything I pretty much said I was going to complete today. We actually did our task. Holy crap. So the terrestrial algorithm, we need all these runes of fire, and we need sparks. So that is something I need to go get blazes, which is why we were going to call it there. Oh boy, I need to decorate the crap out of this room. I'll probably make a whole bunch of this like living wood, and you know, let's look up at Botania. Let's see what other kind of blocks. Botania. Let's see what other kind of blocks they have. There's all these petal blocks. Ooh, those are kind of nice. There's 11. Wow, look at all this stuff. Glimmering Dreamwood, Dragonstone, Corporeal block. Dude, there's a whole bunch of cool blocks in here. Yes, we're definitely going to have to get into decorating these rooms at some point. I like this. I'm digging this. Well, what did we get? Energy pipes. Ooh, nice. Oh, nice. Oh, and I also got an armory cabinet and a reward. But I think we're going to go ahead and call it there. I mean, oh boy, look at this. We've got 3 rooms built up and done. We've got a whole bunch of quests complete. I'm not sure what we're going to do in the next episode, to be perfectly honest. We need to still complete those. We need to go find an end city. That for sure we're going to do the next episode is go find an end city. I need to get into storage. That's what we're going to do next episode. We're going to get into making the, what is this? Refined storage. Yes, we're going to get making refined storage, go find an end city, and, I don't really want to start on chickens yet. Yeah, I think that's what we're going to do. It's going to be a whole episode to do all the refined storage stuff and things. I really do think that. And finding the end city. So I think on that note, look at this 3 magic stuff and things get going, which is just going to provide us with way more resources. And we got even more flowers. I think I'm down to like, I don't know, like 30 or 40 things to plant in botany pots. We're over 120. I think we got like 100 and something things growing in our botany pots, so that's freaking awesome. Whew, huh. But on that note, it's time for me to go take a break. I need to get some dinner. I need to go, you know, watch some shows. I don't know what I'm gonna watch, but I'm gonna go relax on the couch while I let some stuff AFK for a while. And I hope you thoroughly enjoyed this episode and learned a little bit about the magic making inside StoneBlock 3. Please definitely leave some tips and tricks and comments down below if you want to see me explain something a little bit more detail, because I kind of glossed over a lot of this because you saw me do a bunch of the Art Nouveau in all the mods 8 and 9, so I didn't really cover it too much. And like I said, we're not going to use it too often inside this mod pack, but I wanted to go ahead and do it because there are other quest lines available. So definitely leave any comments if you want to see me do anything more, or like you said, if you've got anything that improves things, definitely leave that below. Don't forget to hit that smash, the like, and subscribe. And you know what? Share with the universe. And I'll see you guys in the next episode. Ta-ta for now. Bye!